Welcome, everybody, to our program today. I'm Paula Ludwig with the Atlantic Institute. The Atlantic Institute is a program or an institution that promotes positive dialogue between different faiths, cultures, religions, meeting your next door neighbor. And we feel that with more positive dialogue, we'll have more world peace, which is our vision of a peaceful world. I am going to show you a short 2-minute video about the Atlantic Institute. If you haven't had a chance to put where you're from, part of our outreach is trying to reach all over the world. And so if you'll put where you're from in the chat, that'd be awesome. It lets us show our advisory board and our boss that we are reaching far and wide. So, all right, I am going to share my screen. I always do this wrong, and I apologize. There we go. All right. Nope. There we go.
The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious coexistence between peoples of various cultures, faiths, and backgrounds. We seek this goal through peaceful dialogue, education initiatives, and community organization. Our dialogue events bring together experts, community and faith leaders, and knowledge seekers to address social issues that affect us all. We feel dialogue is the most important element in peaceful coexistence, so we try and maintain several panel discussions, TED Talk events, and book clubs throughout the year. These events touch on social issues, race relations, and cultural understanding and are a mainstay of our programming. The Atlantic Institute's education events are extremely important to our mission of understanding. We want to promote socially forward critical thinking to students of all ages. To that end, we have developed programs that seek to grow the creative spirit of students and help them think about their communities and the world around them. Our Future Leaders of Dialogue event brings together nominated elite students to learn from each other as well as political and business leaders. Our art and essay contest gives students a theme about important societal issues and allows them to create wonderful works of art and writing while steering their minds towards improving their world. We are always seeking ways to educate youths and adults in order to make a peaceful world for all of us. Our community events are designed to transform neighbors into friends and groups of people into a community. By associating with other nonprofits or by our own initiative, we are always trying to discover new avenues to improve our neighborhoods, places of worship, and community centers. We host cooking demonstrations of food from other cultures, work with various nonprofits to help elevate the work of others, and try to find a way to make the lives of those who are disenfranchised or marginalized better. Building a more peaceful world starts in our backyards, so we are dedicated to improving our communities and associations. The Atlantic Institute is always seeking like-minded volunteers and collaborators. If you would like to learn more, find volunteer opportunities, or just want to chat with our staff, please visit our website at www.atlanticinstitutesc.org or follow us on Facebook. We will never run out of fun, educational, peaceful events, so come join us to help make this world a better place full of understanding and unity.
All right. Thank you. So with that being said, we have been really lucky and have reached far and have made the bosses very happy, and we have hired more event planner coordinators to bring more programs. And so I am going to turn it over to one of our new ones, Tabitha, and she's going to present today's program.
Cool. Thank you, Paula. I'm Tabitha. I am super excited to be here today with all of you for our session on Dia de los Muertos. As you can see, my background is an altar. This is by our speaker today, Cal Duran. If you would like to enable this during the meeting, I'm going to drop a link in the chat, and you can visit our swag bag and enable that. Our session today is about Dia de los Muertos, also known as Day of the Dead, and it's a celebration meant to remember, honor, and maybe even welcome back those who have left this living realm back to our space for a day, and this does include animals. It's over 3,000 years old and currently celebrated in over 6 countries. So you can imagine the variation of ways that people celebrate. We won't be covering all of that today, but we will talk a little bit about the celebration itself, its purpose, some symbols, and one of the mainstays of Dia de Muertos, which is the altars or the ofrendas. And these are spaces to welcome back and commemorate those who have left us. And so we'll hear a little bit more about that and some symbols. And if we have some time, we'll talk about maybe starting an altar for yourself. So we'll have a little bit of time at the end. If you have some questions, and drop those in the chat, or if you would like, you can unmute yourself and ask. And today, I'm thrilled that we'll be joined with seasoned art educator and consummate artist Cal Duran. He's been participating in Dia de Muertos celebrations for the past 17 years, so it's really a lot of experience. His art's been featured in galleries, museums, and beyond. For those who are familiar with Meow Wolf, he has co-created a room in Meow Wolf's Denver location. And when we were meeting before this session, he let me know that all 11 of his ofrendas would be installed by the time we met for this session. And he wrapped up on Wednesday with his last ofrenda in Denver at the Denver Zoo. So if you're in the area, you still have the chance to go visit one of these ofrendas yourself. I'm going to drop a couple links in the chat for you to visit Cal's Instagram. And there you'll find a list of locations for his ofrendas. If you are out of the area, you'll see some great snapshots of the ofrendas as well. You can visit his website. Cal also works in a variety of mediums. He does clay work, and if you're in the area, the last link is a link to his clay classes. So I do have to let you know his upcoming clay classes are sold out, but if you stay tuned to that link, you'll be able to see some upcoming classes and sign up there. So without further delay, those of you who are reaction emoji people like I am, get them ready, and please join me in welcoming Cal Duran. Oh, I sure hope we have him. Oh, we do. 3.
Hello, everybody. I'm here.
Yes, you're a little.
Hello.
Yes, okay. We can hear you. I see you
Hello.
have some network issues.
Everybody here? Yeah, my connection is being really weird.
Let's see if we can.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe for a moment we can stop your video. And we can hear a little bit about the celebration, and then
Okay, I'll stop my video.
Yeah, and we can hear you well, and we're going to go ahead and look at some preferences here while you begin speaking and see if we can fix some stuff.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Cal Duran. I am a native of Colorado. I have been doing Dia de los Muertos since I was about 16 years old. Myself a woven person. I have a lot of. My father was Chicano, and my mother is adopted, and art was really a way for me to connect to the cultures that I was not really immersed in. And Dia de los Muertos was really important to me growing up because it allowed me to honor my ancestors that have passed away. And the holiday is just really special to me. I got taught by a lot of elders here in the community. I became a member at a gallery here in Denver, Colorado, one of the oldest galleries called Pirate Art Gallery. And I was lucky enough to have beautiful wonderful elder named Gita Wallace Flores, from Mexico, so Mexico, teach me about Dia de los Muertos.
That is so awesome. I have a question, Cal. We're having a little bit of a hard time.
Everything okay?
Yeah, we're having a bit of a hard time. Is it possible for you to maybe move your computer a little bit? Thanks everybody for hanging out
let's
while
see.
we're looking at this. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're from Colorado.
Is that better?
Well, let's try it out and we'll see. Thanks again, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe a little better. I don't know if you can move closer to the Wi-Fi or anything like that. It's a little bit like, if that's helpful.
It's choppy. Yeah, I can't see anything on the screen. They're really.
Thanks everybody for checking this out.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It happens, I think. Looking at some video settings on my side to see if we can change. Hello, Rita, in the chat from South Carolina. We're having some technical difficulties right now, so I appreciate everybody's patience. I can see Paula's over there looking at some stuff too. I know Cal, our speaker's kind of moving around to see if we can.
I'm gonna log back out and back in.
Okay, we're gonna do that for a second here. And I appreciate everybody hanging out. I was letting everybody know about these ofrendas in Colorado, and there's actually going to be one in the area close to me, and I'm going to get to visit it this weekend. And you might want to check in your area. I know it's kind of big here, but often there are community celebrations for Dia de los Muertos just all around. And that usually includes parades. People sometimes have community ofrendas. For those of you who are kind of new to that world, one of the first things you might need would be a picture. So if you had a picture of one of your loved ones, that's something that you could add to an ofrenda. So if you were attending one of these celebrations in the city and they had a community ofrenda, something that you could bring right away would be a picture. So often there's food and there's music on the website that I dropped a little bit earlier. I have, let me see if I can get that link again. I have a couple items in there to help you kind of get into the spirit or envision what Dia de Muertos is kind of all about. There are some music selections as well. And so those are actually contemporary. Some of them are contemporary tunes that have been redone over and over again because they're subjects that everybody can resonate with, about people that you miss and ways to remember them. So you can check that out. We're kind of still looking for Cal. I'm not sure. Let me check on my message.
He's coming back in. I just let him back in.
Oh, cool. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your patience here. I'm so glad to be celebrating. I'm sorry about this technical difficulty. Hello, Tosca. I just saw her session. Awesome session yesterday. The Atlantic does a lot of cool sessions all throughout the year. Sometimes they're seasonal and sometimes they're just for regular edification. But yesterday I attended a really cool session about experiences beyond our life here with Tosca. That was really awesome. So
And it will be on our Atlantic Institute YouTube channel probably by next week. We have a volunteer that loads up all our videos. We have over 200 videos. So while you're waiting for that one to load up, you could check out all our other ones. They're not all from this year. We didn't do 200 this year, but they are from the last 4 to 5 years. So check those out. There's everything from education to cultural to faith to interfaith to cultural education interfaith. Yeah, that's what we do. And I think Cal's trying to find his best spot to talk with us.
I appreciate it, Cal. I'm kind of sad you had to move away from the thing you were in front of, but I liked your background a lot. I appreciate you moving around though.
Hear me?
Yeah, you're a little choppy still. Are you on your phone now?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I am going to try for my phone.
Yeah, the phone might be the
Yeah,
best.
Cal, if you try from your phone, I can show the pictures on my I can share the pictures on my computer because I have that. I pulled them up. Let me
Awesome. We have some cool pictures
yes.
of some of these. Oh, your screen looks great.
Tap of the monitor for when he comes back in. Hopefully his phone will be better.
Oh,
We apologize, everyone. We did test this out. I know everybody's like, you should test it out. We did, and it was good. And
they always say that this happens too, and it's true. So now I do know about this photo here. This is in Greeley, Colorado, and this is a part of his solo show. You can see there's a creature at the top, and he'll have to tell you the exact name of that. It's a god. So this is an old tradition. So you can include various symbols and gods and people into it. So hopefully he'll have some time to talk about it, but you can visit this and a walkthrough of this show on his Instagram site as well. So even though we might not get to it today, you can still check it out. I'll drop that link now.
okay, cool. I wanted to see what. Whoops, that was not a good thing.
Cool. He is coming back in. Awesome. Look, there's some pot. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, these are great pictures though. I'm just really excited. Cool. I'm so glad he has a phone. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging in here. Cool. Awesome. I can see you. I do not hear Cal yet.
Okay, I'm here. So sorry about that.
It's awesome. You sound great.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, everybody, for being patient.
Yes, thank you. So, Paula, I think your screen is still on. Oh, maybe you want that up, Cal?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you everyone for being patient. My name is Cal Duran. I am a native of Colorado. I am a local artist and educator here in Denver, Colorado. But yeah, my main focus in art, I do a lot of ceramics, paper mache, but my main passion and joy is Dia de los Muertos. I really grew up here in Denver learning the traditions of Dia de los Muertos by a dear elder named Rita Flores Wallace. She's from Soltero, Mexico, and when I was 17, I became the youngest member of an art gallery called the Pirate Art Gallery. And every year I would do an ofrenda honoring an ancestor that passed away in my lineage, and just really being immersed with elders and community members. Dia de los Muertos was what I really was drawn to. So this year I am doing 12 community ofrendas around Colorado. So what I love about Dia de los Muertos is the universal message it holds is that we are honoring the celebration of life of the ones that we have lost. That, you know, death is this universal thing that none of us can stay away from. It is the end journey of us all and what kind of connects us to us all. And what I love about this holiday is that it just really holds the memories of the ones that we have lost, that they aren't really lost, that we get to remember them for years and years to come and just really celebrate their lives. So, but this first image is an image up in Greeley. This was a giant installation that I did. It was a solo show, but they also are doing a community altar within the space. So this was just honoring, so you see in the top is a Quetzalcoatl. So in the Aztec culture, the Quetzalcoatl is the rainbow serpent dragon that is kind of the bridge builder from the cosmos to this realm. So I built a giant Quetzalcoatl there. And just this title of the show is The Realm of the Dead. So I really like to do installations, just focusing like you're going into another realm. But yeah, and we could go our image if you want. So some of the key elements to an ofrenda, which I have learned through the many years I've been doing this, and there's a lot of different teachings. So even in Mexico, in the different pueblas, there's different traditions of how they celebrate Dia de los Muertos. But the key elements that I always include are the marigolds, the Semslapuchli flowers, and those are the scent of the dead. When you smell a marigold, it is one of the ancient flowers of this earth, and we always include that on an altar to bring the scent of the dead. So bring the scent of our loved ones to the ofrenda. We also add all the elementals, so the water, the earth, the fire, the air. The air represents the papel picado. So a lot of the flags you can see in my ofrendas, that represents the wind. The earth is the food, the offerings we give. So anything that your loved one love to eat, love to drink, we put that on the ofrenda. So, and we could go to the next image if you'd like. And this is another ofrenda up in Colorado Springs. So this was really inspired by the Tree of Life. So one side it celebrates the life and the other side is the death. And kind of this duality in it all that I like to garden a lot. So I look at the plants and everything, you know, in a way, even us, that we're decaying, but through our legacy, through our joy, through our love, like we're always regrowing and relearning. And this tree was about that. So this is a giant community altar. So these ofrendas that I do are kind of the bones of for people to come and add the photos of their loved ones, add offerings to the altar. So really just bringing community together. Because, you know, in every one of us, we have lost someone dear to us. And it's that kind of communal idea of ofrendas is that we come together and celebrate our loved ones. But yeah, we could go to the next photo. And I use a lot of roses as well, and live flowers and maize, the corn. This was an altar on the full moon eclipse. Behind the corn mother is a Ojo de Dios. It is called the God's Eye. traditionally woven by the Huichol people in Mexico, but the same weave could be found in almost every indigenous culture around the world. But I include these on my altars because they're also for protection, but I believe they're also portals. When I weave them, I am reconnecting my lineage and just really very meditative. And I feel like I get to commune with my ancestors. So I use a lot of the Ojo de Dios in my work. But yeah, we can move on. And I do a lot of paper mache. So this is a giant 10-foot skeleton that I made. And inside of its belly is an ofrenda in itself. But what's beautiful about the skeleton is that if you peel your skin off right now, and everybody did in this chat, like, how would we know the difference between each other? You know, it's that universal way of that we're all kind of the same on the inside, and our exteriors, you know, the color of our skin, you know, our spiritual beliefs, those are very important, but what's in our hearts? So inside of the skeleton was kind of that idea of what's in our heart. We all have hearts, and all of our loved ones that have passed on, you know, what were their hearts like? What was their legacy and spirit like? So how do we embrace that? But yeah, and we could move on to the next. And yes, this is another Ojo de Dios, a portal. So the butterflies, the monarch butterflies for Dia de los Muertos, I was always taught that they were carried the souls of our ancestors, of our loved ones. So I always incorporate the monarch butterfly in my installations and ofrendas. Just really honoring, you know, that migration. Monarchs are one of the only insects that migrates year after year, and they go to the tree, and it's this metamorphosis, this rebirth, this transformation, the representation of the monarch. And this is one of my elders and my teacher, Renee Fajardo. This was an altar honoring one of her students that passed. She's the MSU, the Metro State University here in Colorado, of Chicana studies. But she's taught me a lot about generationally how Dia de los Muertos became. And it's interesting to see the evolution of Dia de los Muertos, how our next generation creates, how our old generation creates, and how we're kind of reweaving new traditions, you know, holding on to the old ones, but reweaving and creating new paradigms in our microcosm. But yeah. And this was my last altar. I installed a couple days ago. It was at the Denver Zoo. It was honoring the animals. So animals are really important in our lives, and they hold such a beautiful spirit. But the Denver Zoo had a giraffe that passed away, their matriarch, and I had this idea of making almost an 11-foot paper mache giraffe with a skeleton riding it, and really just paying homage to the animals in our lives, and what beautiful ways that they bring joy into our everyday world. So that was honoring all the zookeepers, and that was a community altar for people that have lost animals, just to add photos and memories onto the ofrenda. So yeah, we could go to the next one. And this is in my backyard. So I do a lot of fire ceremonies. The fire is really important for me, especially when we do Dia de los Muertos. Before and after the week, the fire is cleansing. It really cleanses my artwork, my spirit. It really just is the universal thing in every culture, is the fire, you know, and I go to the fire to transmute, to release, to pray, to sing, and So that was in my backyard, but yeah, go to the next photo. And these are all ceramic skulls. So I was really inspired by the skull racks in Mexico, and I work with youth as well, and from 6 years old to 14-year-old, and a lot of the youth, I did a workshop, and they built some of these ceramic skulls, and just really teaching them about this beautiful celebration. Yeah. And this ofrenda is at the Colorado History Museum, and it's really, really dear to me. So this is also a community altar, and this was honoring the Corn Mothers. So the Corn Mothers is a project from my teacher Renee Fajardo, and through the MSU Chicana Studies program. But my teacher Renee and my elder teacher Rita Wallace Flores, she's in her 90s. She brought kind of what we know it in Colorado for Dia de los Muertos. She brought her teachings from Mexico in the 70s. And she is an amazing folk artist, and all of her art was in the collection at the History Colorado, and we got to pull out her work and incorporate my work. And I visited Rita every week before before this installation, and built art with her, and this is what we created. So it's just about kind of the grandmothers and beautiful women in our lives that support us, that love us, and have given back to this land. So yeah. And this was an ofrenda at a gallery here in Colorado. It was an outside, and it's in this little like closet nook. But yeah, it was still that idea of this kind of portal you're going into, of the skulls for me represent all the ancestors, all of the people I love, and kind of, going through this other world. So yeah. This ofrenda was actually at a community soccer center. So it was a community altar, and the two skeletons are playing soccer. And it's just that what's really beautiful about Dia de los Muertos and ofrendas is that it just really brings people together. So the soccer, it's called Soccer City, and they just wanted ofrenda to really bring all different cultures together. I think it's important to say that Dia de los Muertos isn't just for the Mexican culture, that it can be celebrated by anybody, because it is honoring and celebrating the ones we love. And that in itself is such a beautiful thing. So yeah.
I'm wondering, I saw a picture of food. Did you put yeah, if Paula, do you see that picture of the, is it Pan de Muerto?
Yeah, so pan de muerto. So yeah, the food is really important to add to an ofrenda, but the pan de muerto is traditional. We add that, so it's traditionally, yeah, there's a picture. That's some I made. Those are shaped like skulls that I made, but there's a bunch of different versions. Some you'll see with cross and bones. So the cross represents like protection, but the bread is we also add salt. So there's a skull with salt that I made. Salt is for protection as well, but also we have salt in our bodies. We ate a lot of salt, and You know, so anything that we would do here when we're alive, we should also add to the ofrenda. So water we also add to quench the thirst. I could also talk about the different days that we celebrate Dia de los
Yes, please.
Muertos. Yeah, so traditionally, in the Mexica and Azteca cultures, they celebrated it in September, August and September, kind of the solstice. But it kind of transitioned into All Saints Day. And kind of in this time of year, the veil is at its thinnest. And I believe our, you know, our loved ones kind of come out of their realm. But it is said on the first day, so November 1st, and also is when the little ones come out. So all of the babies that have passed away, they start leading the procession. And then that's when we kind of start building our altars and just kind of building the bones, adding the photos of our loved ones, all the things. And then the second day is when our loved ones really get to greet us with open arms and get to come to the altar, the ofrenda. And that's when we really get to commune with them, celebrate them, tell their stories. And on the third day is when we get to say goodbye because they need to go back. And, you know, and we always leave candles lit the whole time. We keep giving marigolds, we keep giving, you know, offerings. For me, I have an ofrenda up all year. And you know, it's something that I always give offerings to. But what's special about these days is, you know, it's all about the ancestors, it's all about them. So but yeah, this image was also in Colorado Springs Fine Arts Center last year, a community altar. But yeah.
I interrupt for a second and just tell you that
Yeah, of course. That's good.
I was actually in Twitch chat. For those of you who are familiar with Twitch, it's a platform for people sometimes to get on and share their ideas or do art. And there is a person in Colorado Springs in Twitch, and they were on, and I was talking about the Fine Arts Center and the Dia de los Muertos exhibit there. And there was a person in chat who mentioned your installation last year and said they loved it. So I just wanted to tell you that just happened on Wednesday or maybe Tuesday of this week. So
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I don't know if any of the videos came up, but
yeah, the videos.
Where would I find the videos? Because the one that we were looking at earlier was actually pretty cool, but I'm not seeing the videos.
Are they the things on the top there that say play highlights? I wonder. No.
Oh.
Oops, too late. Then it'll recognize us now.
Oh.
It's okay though.
So maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. I steered you all wrong.
It's just going through the photos. I was trying to find that video that we were looking at when we were setting up. But
Yeah.
these are some of the photos we hadn't seen yet. So this is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Does
So
anybody
yeah,
have
you can kind of
questions?
see, yeah, questions.
Or maybe people have celebrated themselves and they have some insider tips for what they do, or maybe they've heard some things. I'm wondering, Cal, are there any myths about Dia de Muertos that you've heard that you don't think really fit in, or are there any special things that stick out, bits of wisdom?
I think just like trust your heart. I think, when building a frenda, if it comes from your heart, and you're really just wanting to honor and love, your loved one, I think it's going to be special, regardless. I think if you took the time, to really just decide to build an ofrenda, like that's a beautiful thing in itself. But in Mexico, it's traditionally at the cemeteries. It's those days are at the cemeteries, and it's just the whole community in Puebla, they get together and just, are remembering all of the stories of their loved ones. So it's a little different here, in the US, that we don't always do that. So it's really just beautiful to see how this celebration has grown all over the United States, like in Los Angeles, it's different. In Arizona, in Oakland, in Texas, there's always different versions of it, and it's so beautiful to see community come together in a way and kind of teach us how they do it, or just to really learn from each other is a positive impact and can build community. So
And Cal, you have 12 right now being displayed throughout Colorado. Is that correct?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep, 12 all over Colorado. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
gonna show
added one.
I want to show this. I love this one. Just that it's larger than life, and then like you said, we're all the same underneath. We're all bones, and
Mm-hmm.
and we all had heart, we all had soul, and I really do. I like your giant skeleton one. So that is pretty cool. So.
Thank you. Yeah, and I use a lot of color. What's really beautiful about Dia de los Muertos um is that it's very colorful. I think color brings such a special brightness to our lives, and that's what's just really beautiful. Maybe a little bit, it's not Halloween, there's this like kind of darkness with Halloween, but like with Dia de los Muertos, yes, there's skeletons and but it's like skeletons in fun ways. Like they're living, they're not. So it's just really cool about Dia de los Muertos. But I saw a question.
Yeah, there's a question in chat from Rita. She's curious if there's any order.
Oh,
Yeah, in arranging the ofrendas for the food, or if there's a minimum number of steps for arranging.
yeah. So there's different ways. There are tiers. So I do a lot of three tiers. So I think that the bottom tier is kind of the ground, kind of what we're nesting on, and I always leave food and offerings usually in like a basket or on the ground, because that's where our feet are, and when our loved ones are coming to the altar, it's right there at their feet, they feel it. And then on the realm is kind of on the second tier, I mean, is where I kind of put the pictures in the moment right now, this realm, what we're on, what we're remembering. And then that third realm is kind of to the cosmos. So I'll just kind of honor, put my papel, the sky to the air, adding that, or you could do an archway. You see a lot of archways in ofrendas, kind of the archway to the sky. And so yeah, there's a lot. I've seen my auntie and teacher, she does like 7 tiers. I've seen 12 tiers. So I mean, it's really just kind of trusting what you want to do, but I always kind of have always have a little bit of tiers. Or I use a lot of armoires because I have like the drawers, the centerpiece, and then up above it and kind of work from that. You always kind of want to have a centerpiece for your ofrenda, is that like main piece that's going to kind of connect it all together. So yeah.
Is there any one picture you would like me to pull up and you could talk about that? I mean, they're all amazing. Like,
I do also, there is
Yeah.
there is one that I was curious about. It's is it the tapestry of flowers? I'm not sure what that's called. And it's the skull. Um, there's a skull in the middle with flowers. It's made out of flowers on the ground, or maybe is it colored rice? There it is.
yeah, what is the white in that? Is it
Oh
rice,
yeah.
salt?
Oh yeah, it's rice and salt. Yeah, you'll see a lot of on ofrenda. Sometimes people build a lot of flowers, like mandalas or things on the ground. But yeah, those were all marigolds from my garden. And yeah, it was like about a skull I had put on the ground. So I like to use rice, beans, corns, just to kind of create this element on the ground as well.
Thank you. I know I interrupted. If there's a picture you would like to talk about.
No, I mean, I think that's good. If there's any other questions or
Is
anything
this
else you
your
would like me to talk about?
your mentor, this lady here?
Yeah, so that's Rita. Yeah, that's Rita. And yeah, that was what we created at the Colorado History Museum. And she's still in her 90s, and she is an amazing folk artist, and she would build Dia de los Muertos ofrendas all over Colorado. And just learn from her, and um just really a beautiful human, and just really brought our community together here in Colorado. So I think it's really important that we learn from our elders, but also include them. I think there's this idea of, when we get older, that we're kind of shoved away in a way, or we're kind of forgotten. And I think that it's such a beautiful thing when we could include people that have paid such homage to this holiday as well. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that question, Rita. So yeah, with these community altars, we get a lot of messages, pictures and offerings. And I believe it's really important that we just don't throw them in the trash, that we um honor those messages. So when all of these altars are taken down, um oh, I could also talk about the sacredness of the smudging of the copal. Whenever I go into a space, I use copal. So copal is the sacred resin found in Latin America and almost in every continent here in the world. But it is the food of our ancestors, the smell of our ancestors, and it also clears any lingering energy from the space. So I always before and after I do an ofrenda, just to really kind of cleanse those pieces of any energy that came through. But we also do a fire ceremony with all the messages that we receive, and we read them aloud and just really give them our love. And then we put them in the fire, and it goes back into the cosmos. So it's really important to hold that sacredness when you're doing an ofrenda too, that it's just not, something that we just create for fun, but that it really has real intentions. I really believe that our ancestors are with us, living, in our bloodline, and their memories are, how they live on through us. So I think it's really important that we have integrity in that.
I'm wondering, could you talk a little bit about Cal recorded a prayer for me. I'm not sure if I'll be able to share it, but maybe he can talk a little bit about the prayers for the ofrendas, and then I might try to share it because I think it's really cool. It's about a minute long, so
Yeah, if you could share. Yeah, so I also do a prayer, just acknowledging the indigenous ones on these lands, and also across the globe. So here in Colorado, we're on the Ute, the Arapaho, the Iroquois, Comanche, so many tribes that have been here, and it's really important that we honor those lands as well, and all of the love and heart that those people have given to these lands. So I always honor that. And also, all the indigenous ones across the globe, I believe that in every culture there have been people that have honored the earth. Um, and there's really no separation between us in that regard. And it's important to kind of represent all of our lineages. So it's a universal prayer, and I do a prayer of protection, and I sing song, and because I believe song and and prayers really connect us deeper with our ancestors. So.
yeah, this clip that you shared with me, let me see if I can get it. This clip you shared with me has an instrument in it. Can you tell me what that instrument?
Yeah, I play the drum and the flute, the native flute. So the flute for me, I was always taught by my elder and teacher. He always taught me that the flute is an instrument of you and is basically a prayer, is to the cosmos, to spirit, whatever you believe in. And I always play the flute in that regard to just call in my great ancestors, and the drum is for me is when you're in your mother's womb, it's that heartbeat, that universal heartbeat. So I always play the drum, and yeah, and rattle. The rattle shakes any energy out. I always use the rattle too.
Awesome. Let me see if I can play this here and you guys can hear some of the stuff he's talking about. Sorry, excuse my desktop picture here.
Gracias to our great ancestors, our well ancestors, our curanderos, our curanderas, our shamans and mystics down our lineage and tribes. Earth is our body, air is our breath, water is our blood, and fire is our spirit. Gracias to Dia de los Muertos, to the calaveras, to the Day of the Dead, to the day that we honor all of our past ones, and we get to celebrate the beauty, the stories, the heart of their lives. Gracias, gracias to all of the souls before us, as above, so below. Death is not the end. We are all living on a cosmic journey. Gracias, gracias to this moment, this time, this space, this dimension. Gracias to this land, Madre Land Tierra. Los montañas, to the mountain, to the altar that is the mountain. Gracias, gracias to all the indigenous ones on these lands. Gracias and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you to the calaveras, to the skeleton, to the skulls, to all the offerings, to the marigolds, to the monarch butterflies that bring the spirits back.
We are all interconnected. We are all one. Mateo. Mateo. Gracias.
Thank you
But
for
yeah,
recording
yeah,
that for us.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah,
We're
it's just
getting,
important. Mm-hmm.
oh, I apologize. We're getting pretty close to the end here. So if you had
Yeah.
any last thoughts, I didn't mean to cut you off, or if there are any last questions in the chat that we can talk about now. Yeah, I just wanted to make everyone aware of the time.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, any questions? And thank you everyone for being patient in the beginning with my connection. But yeah, I say just follow your heart. There is no wrong or right way to honor the ones that we have loved. They will not judge us if there isn't a specific thing on the altar. I think just, putting a picture out, putting a candle out, and just telling their stories is really what it's all about. So,
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I enjoyed
yeah.
hearing from you today too. I'm so glad that we got your connection connected. I'm so happy
Yeah.
to hear about all of this today. Oh, we have a question from Rita. You should unmute and go ahead and ask us if you'd like.
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Cal and Tabitha and Paula. But I'm from India, as Paula knows. And we have something very similar where we honor our ancestors too. And it's already,
Mm.
it's every year, it's around this time of the year. We have a festival that lasts 9 days. And the first day of the festival is when we honor and we offer something similar, the favorite foods of our ancestors. We use marigolds too a lot, yellow and orange. The colors are the
Mm.
same. But then the food and everything, once the prayer session it's over, we distribute the food to people. We even leave the food outside for birds because we think they're the messengers to heaven.
That's
So they
beautiful.
would, yeah, so they would carry our thoughts and feelings and memories up towards the sky.
Mm.
So we leave food out for the birds and animals and everything. But like you said, we don't let it go to waste. We don't throw
Yeah,
it in the trash because it's out of respect.
yeah, for sure. What is that holiday called?
Uh, it's called, it's something like the Day of the Dead. It's called by different names in different parts of the country because we have so many languages.
Mm.
But it's around this time of the year. And the festival is called Dasara or
Mm.
Navratri, 9 days. But I
Oh,
think
wow.
there's a lot of similarity between the Mayan culture and the Indian culture. I'm talking about the
Oh
Asian
yeah,
Indian.
there's so many parallels
Yeah.
between that, which is interesting because my mom, she's adopted, but her father, we never grew up with it, but her father is actually Indian, so
Asian
from India.
Indian, from Indian,
Yeah,
Asian Indian,
yeah.
because
So
people will
that
get
really,
mixed up with the American Indians. So.
yeah, no, from India. So she's Native American in India, but we never grew up with that culture. So art was really, I find a lot of parallels between indigenous cultures, it's a lot of indigenous cultures use the marigolds as well and give offerings. And so we're all, I believe we're all interconnected in a way. So
Yeah, yeah. And for us too, I mean, like
yeah.
the flowers, the red and yellow are very auspicious. And for all our
Mm-hmm.
religious ceremonies and prayers, red and yellow and orange are the most used. So we always look for flowers in those colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of representing the sun too, those colors.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
Um,
similarities between your,
yeah.
culture and ours. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
But thank you. It was very interesting, and I loved your prayer at the end.
Oh, thank you so much. You have a beautiful day.
No, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing the session, Paula.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you for telling us about this holiday, Rita. I didn't even realize. I know there are a lot of parallels. I wish we had a little bit more time. I thank everybody for really stick it in there through our technical difficulties, but this was very cool.
But I will send Paula the the name, the one that most people know use it. I'll send it to her and she can share it with you, because
Oh yeah.
every state has a different language, so it's called
Mm.
different things. But I'll try to find the one that is the most commonly used name for that.
Yeah, I would love that.
And we keep the same thing. We keep photographs of the departed, just like you guys do,
Yeah.
And once a year we pray. We pray to them once a year. It's so similar to what you have. So
We'll have to have another session, I think.
thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, Rita, this one was actually brought by
you.
Tabitha. This
Oh.
is her first session with us. I'm just
Oh,
here
thank you.
mentoring her, but yes, she did an awesome job finding
thank
a
you.
wonderful speaker. And this was an awesome session, and I want to thank everybody for coming today. We are going to end the recording now, and please check out our Atlantic Institute YouTube channel. Also, check out all the programs we have. We now have 5 other program planners besides Christina and I. If you've known us, there's just been the 2 of us for many years, and they are bringing different and unique things to our programming. And so, if you're not on our emailing list, you can put your email in the chat here, and we will get you on the emailing list. We have we have 7 different programs we're going to do in the month of November as of right now that are set up. And we're going to continue doing programming in December, even though we don't usually do too much in December. Our program planners have decided they want to continue with December. So please check out what we have going on. We are, of course, on Eventbrite, but we also do have our own Atlantic Institute website page. And if you type in Atlantic Institute South Carolina, because that's where we originated from, that will be the correct one, because we do have sister organizations with the same name. And thank you everybody for coming, and I'm going to end the recording now.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Cal. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you.
Recording.